All right, everybody, what is going on? Hopefully, everybody having a good start of the week. Monday is here. It is Monday morning. Hopefully, everybody had a great weekend. My weekend was pretty good. You know, if you saw my short or my TikTok, I actually was able to obtain a Nintendo Switch 2. I got it for my son, and he is enjoying it. So this video is going to give you my thoughts and opinions about the console because, you know, I had to set it up for him and all this other stuff. And I watched him play his Nintendo Switch 2 for, you know, the last, 36 hours, whatever the case may be. So I give my thoughts and opinions on it, and we'll just go from there. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I appreciate you coming to the channel, clicking on this video. Over here I talk about gaming and everything under that umbrella. And I normally go live at least twice a week, but I was not able to go live this weekend. Like I said, I'll talk about that, why I didn't go live to play SOCOM. But yeah, we'll talk about that in this video as well. And don't be afraid to like, share, and subscribe to the video, and subscribe to the channel. And let's go ahead and get into this. Listen, I bought the Nintendo Switch 2. I had to leave my area of Atlanta to go find one, and I had to go all the way up to Tennessee to get this Nintendo Switch 2. I went to Austell, Georgia, Douglasville. I even actually thought about going to Columbus, Georgia, Rome, Georgia, everything in between up to the Tennessee borderline. But yeah, nobody in the area had it. So I normally drive, you know, when I drive my truck or whatever, I normally drive to like the regional area of the Southeast. And I was like, you know what? Let's see if they have one in Tennessee. So I called a few places there. One place had like 2, another one had like 1 left, and one place I went to, they had like, well, one place I called had like 5 left. So I was like, oh, they got 5. He said, matter of fact, I have 7. I have 4 of them that has the Mario Kart bundle. The other one, the other 3 did not have the bundle. And I was like, yo, I am driving from the Atlanta area and I need to go up. I'm coming up there because I really wanted to get a Nintendo Switch for my son. He's like, you know, I will personally put one aside for you, put your name on it if you can get here within the next 2.5 hours. Bet. It was like a 3-hour drive, but I managed to get there in about 2 hours and 45 minutes. And yeah, we ended up getting there. It was there, and let me tell you how fast these things sell. These things sell pretty quick because by the time I got there, he had a piece left. He had one of the regular ones and one that was the Mario Kart bundle one. And if he didn't put that aside, we probably would have been out of luck. So we managed to get it. And I did the TikTok, I did the, you know, the short on YouTube. You can click the links down in the description for my TikTok if you want to follow me over there. And basically, I talked about it. My son was so happy because he was kind of getting a little nervous because I told him if he does well in school, I will get him a Nintendo Switch 2. And I didn't think that this was going to be the case, that it was going to be sold out like this. But he was a top 3 in his class. I mean, I know it's kindergarten, but still, he was a top 3 in the class, did not have not one behavior issue. And to be completely honest, he had a behavior issue in the beginning, probably like the first week, because that was his first time ever in public school. And he, after that first week, we talked to him, and he's been absolutely phenomenal, and he kept it up the entire school year and ended up being one of the top 3 kids in the class. So I was like, yeah, he said he wanted this, and all I wanted him to do was do his best, and he did. He exceeded my expectations. So I said I would do my best and go out my way to get one for him. And really, this weekend was the weekend that we was going to do it. And I could not find one. I had to go out of the state to get it, but we got it. And yeah, so with that being said, I had to go home and hook it up. And when I hooked it up, I realized that hooking it up was pretty easy. You know, I had to transfer some of his data from his Switch 1 over to the Switch 2, which was cool. You know, that wasn't too bad. Everything just moved over seamlessly. The virtual cards, his download list, everything that he purchased, that I purchased for him, but you know what I mean, moved over to the Switch 2, and he's been playing Mario Kart World. He's been having a blast, and I will say that I understand why people have their concerns about a Nintendo Switch 2, but I also will say that this console has the potential to be something very, very good. Okay, I got an airplane coming over me, so if you hear it, it is what it is. There's the airplane. But yeah, it has the potential to be a very good console. One of probably the best console. You know, I ain't gonna say the best console Nintendo ever put out, because that, to me, that's still the Super Nintendo. But it can be really good, and it's very preliminary. Like I said, I only had, you know, my hands on it in house for a couple of hours. I watched my son play it pretty much all last night and the night before, and he has been on it, and I've been watching him play and see what it does, and the backwards compatibility and all this other good stuff. It has the potential to be a really good console, and you know, I'm not, you know, against, you know, saying that. Before, when prior, I was looking at it like, I don't know if this thing is worth the $449 or the $499. I'm still gonna keep that, you know, close to my chest. I don't know if it's worth that price right now, based on the technology and what it does, but it does have the potential to be an excellent console. But as of right now, I mean, seeing my son smile, seeing him being happy, I mean, there's no price tag you can put on that. And it doesn't matter to me if it was a $500 console or not. It was absolutely a phenomenal event, or, you know, set of events for us to come up to Tennessee to get that console. And it was worth it. You know, we made it a whole day event. We went to go, me and the wife and all of us as a family, we went to find a restaurant that we never been to, that they just don't have that restaurant in Georgia, something unique to eat. And we really enjoyed ourselves that day. And it was a moment that I know my son is going to, you know, really, really appreciate, and probably never, hopefully don't ever forget. Hopefully. Because, you know, I remember growing up myself, and I never had, you know, those opportunities. You know, my mom did the best she could, my dad did the best he could, but we never had a chance to, you know, go out of our way to buy something for me. You know, maybe she did in a small scale, or she did some things that was absolutely necessary, but, you know, for something like this, I mean, this is a luxury. It really is. And for us to actually, you know, do this and go out of our way, and it didn't, you know, hurt our pockets or anything, because we actually saved up for this and wanted to make sure that he was happy, and he held up his end of the deal. You know, he held up his end of the deal. He did what he was supposed to. I asked him on numerous occasions to be good, do your best, learn as much as you can in school, and try your best. And he did that. You know, so why not reward him for doing the right thing? You know, and that's just the way I look at it. And I always said this when I was getting, you know, before I even have children, or even with my nieces and nephews, I was more like, you know, if they're doing everything they're supposed to do, they can get anything they want out of their uncle or their cousin or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And when I had my son, I felt the same way, like, you know, as long as you're doing the right thing, you know, you're good in my book. You know, you're doing the right thing, you're going to get what you want, you know? You know, I don't what they say, I don't reward bad behavior, but I celebrate good behavior. And I think this was a celebration, and I think this is something that he started to realize, you know, while we're going through this whole process, like, man, I could be a good kid, and I could be rewarded for the good things. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. You know, you teach your kids right, you do them, make sure they do the right thing, and when they do the right thing, you celebrate them for doing the right thing. And for me, that was great. But as far as the actual Nintendo Switch 2 goes, I think it's going to be a phenomenal console. I don't know how much time I'm going to play with it. Maybe once he gets tired of it, I'll jump on it every now and then. But to be honest, I'm taking this OLED Switch and I'm going to go in on that and probably just rack up on some games and play some games that I missed on the Switch 1 now. Because, yeah, I mean, I have a Switch Lite, but I don't know. You know, playing with the Switch 1, I think it's going to feel a little better with the OLED. But, yeah, let me know what y'all think. I think it was great. Let me know what y'all think about this video and what my philosophy behind it. I'm going to get up out of here. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit everything on the notifications or whatever the case may be. And I'm out. Peace.